Our next speaker is Siegmund. Leon is an entrepreneur and founder of the Bitcoin Club Malta. The Bitcoin Club organizes the monthly Bitcoin meetup and facilitates the vision to become a Bitcoin and blockchain island. Leon co-founded Moonzebra, company that operates Bitcoin ATMs. So, Leon.
Thank you very much. What a great pleasure to be here. I hope you brought your sunglasses if you come from abroad. Welcome to the Rock. Welcome to the Mediterranean island that is hopefully becoming a blockchain island soon and also a Bitcoin island. Thanks again to the awesome team who made this possible. I definitely want such an amazing stage at home. It looks really beautiful. It's one of the best stages I've ever seen here. Thanks. And they traveled it from Romania, not to forget, in a truck. I saw it in the morning. Great pleasure to be here, and to follow up with the last talk. My personal belief is the future of governance is private and decentralized. And when I came here in 2016, I thought to myself, what do I want to do with my life? Make some money, you know, the usual stuff. But I found out before I asked myself this question, I didn't really know. So I asked myself this question, and I found an answer. I really want to contribute to a free planet and to my personal freedom and to the freedom of everyone else. And for me, Bitcoin and blockchain is not just the tech and the business. I love business and I love tech. But the lifestyle behind is also not to forget. So now, unfortunately, the curtains are closed, but you're close to the water. I really invite you and recommend you. Go outside, it's beautiful. Watch the ocean. The ocean brings you a calmness and a confidence that this is unstoppable. Because it truly is. Whatever your opinion is, whatever you think the future will be, nobody can predict the future, but it will happen, inevitably. And today I brought you a little bit about my story, how I founded the Bitcoin Club, and if we have time, some economics, because the Bitcoin Club is truly also about economics, and I believe when we have future societies and governance, economics plays a much bigger role than today. So this is a nice picture, and my talk is going to title Hyper-Bitcoinization. Probably I don't have the time to talk about it in detail, so meet me at the Bitcoin ATM upstairs. But to give you a little story about money first. So when we look into money, what money really is, I studied the Austrian School of Economics a little bit. You come up with a few set conditions. Money has to be durable, divisible, transportable, non-counterfeitable, homogene, limited in quantity. And over history, what we saw is, you probably maybe saw this before, it's very common in the blockchain field that people talk about this. This is a raystone on the island of Yap, which is one of the earliest mentioning of where tokens were used to exchange value. And another interesting story is because they are actually not transportable, so they don't fill this condition, but they had a public list, a public ledger where they could see who owned which stone. And even when one fell in the water, they still, with this public ledger, could certify whether you were ownership of the stone, you were in ownership of the stone or not. Also this one, a great example, a flintstone, has intrinsic value, so you were searching for them, you found one, great, because it's very precious, so you could go and travel and exchange it for meat, one of the first tokens. And my point here is that money can be really anything, yeah? So in crisis times, cigarettes, whiskey, always a good option, yeah? And throughout history now, of course, 5,000 years, money was gold and silver, or diamond also proven to be of value over time. And the big question now is if a digital currency could fulfill these conditions, yeah? I personally believe that Bitcoin was the only reason why it was invented was because there was no innovation. There was no innovation in money over 200 years, and it needed to change. It was overdue, and it wasn't possible because of the monopoly. Now, I think, you know, probably Satoshi Nakamoto, nobody knows who it was, but I think he asked himself the same question. What am I going to do with my life? I have maybe 80 years. You know, do I want to work 9 to 5 in a job, or, you know, can I maybe disrupt the world? Can I do something of excellence, something really great? And he came up and thought, like, what if we could change money and it's unstoppable? And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what hyper-Bitcoinization really means. It's when you open up a market that was completely monopolized and you open it up to your personal choice. And this is the big difference. It's your personal choice. You can decide what money you want to use. You're not forced to use by law legal tender. You can now have, you have an option, a whole catalog. You have now 1,000 currencies, forks of Bitcoin, and this changes things. This is a free market. Morning talk, also very, I think it's my duty to shake you up a little bit and energize you. So I wanna ask you a question. How many of you, please raise your hands, own Bitcoin? Half of it, okay. Some I might shy. Maybe I ask different. How many of you own any cryptocurrency? There we go. There we go. I think it's really, if some people were shy, I think more than half own cryptocurrency. And what we see here is that an inferior currency, a weak currency, gets outcompeted, outclassed by a superior currency. It's superior because we expect it to be of more value in the future than the currencies we rely on. Maybe not yet. Maybe some of you are still skeptical, and that's important. I think good money needs trust and track records, so it might take a bit longer. Like, gold, of course, has 5,000 years of history. Bitcoin, not yet. But my personal thought on this is when we see this as an adoption curve, we might be somewhere here now. Yeah. So let's see what the future brings. And what we do here in Malta is ask ourselves the question, okay, what can we do as a country, as mentioned before also, and that's when I started the Bitcoin Club, really. I came here 2016, and it was cold because in November here the weather sometimes is a bit rainy, and I had no friends yet, so I said, okay, what can I do? What do I really want? The only thing I want is have my friends in my house, have some cold beers, and talk about crypto and the future. And that was the beginning of the Bitcoin Club. And we had a meetup, 7 people showed up in Gozo also. I recommend you really to go to Gozo, the sister island. Where it's like 1 hour if you have time by car and then the ferry. It's more beautiful, it's more natural, it's very silent, very special place. Obviously, the business is happening in Malta, so I went to Malta, and then we had 70 people in summer in 2017, and then in September 2017 we had 200 people. And in the beginning, the Facebook group, which is a good reflection of the community, had 160 people roughly. Yeah. And now, today, we have 4,000 people in this group, yeah? So it really took off here. It was a really, really big interest. And of course, many people worked together. It wasn't just us, it was many. It was Jonathan Galea and Chris Vasallo and many others who worked together, and also, of course, proposed to the government, hey, that's some big opportunity for us to be independent, to be strong, to be decentralized, to build the future. And that's really what happened. So, today, just after a year, basically, we are partnering with this amazing conference, and I'm more than proud. That's basically how you can, follow the vision, build the vision. The secret of leadership is very simple. You do what you believe in, and then you paint a picture of the future, and you just go there, and the people will follow. And I invite you very much to get started with Bitcoin if you haven't. Talk to us at the stand at the Bitcoin ATM. A little side story here is we had a problem, typical startup story. So we were setting up everything, tested the machine for this event, and then on Wednesday last week, the acceptor of our machine burnt, and we had to order a new one. It came by express delivery. So in the morning, 8 a.m., the plane from Germany with our acceptor landed, touchdown, UPS packet cargo center, and now we have a taxi, and I think right in the minute the acceptor is coming right in the front entrance. So I hope Marcus is setting up the machine, and then later we can show you, and you can exchange fiat to crypto, and that's really, you're actively part of the revolution. That's a great thing. And I think I'm already fine with everything I wanted to give to you. If you need help incorporating, if you want to come to Malta, if you consider it to be a great place, not just to live, but also to do business, speak to us. We're more than happy to help you. And I wish you a very pleasant journey, trip, and conference now. Thank you very much.